We are here with Brandon at Marsovin, and Brandon, Marsovin has a long history here in Malta. Can you tell us about the origins of the winery and the production of the wine?
Marsovin is one of the producers that's had the longest history in Malta. There's been grapes here for many, many years, but Marsovin was pivotal in bringing a lot of innovations into the winery, the world of wine here in Malta. So it started in the year 1919 by our founder, Anthony and up until this point, if we talk about current day, we're at the 4th generation already. So it was Anthony who started it at the age of 15 years old, and he worked really hard and reinvested any money he could as he was making a success of the business and started to invest it in growing, becoming bigger. His son, Joe Kassar, was the one that really initiated the major pivotal changes within the industry here by learning from people abroad in France and Italy and bringing back that knowledge into Malta in terms of actual growing of the grapes in the vineyards, but actual production as well. Progressively, as they grew, they needed a larger facility is when they actually came here to Marsa, and they have the main winery just in the back. The cellar, which we did the tour of earlier, is the area where we're aging all of our premium wines in the barrel. So when they moved here was where the name Marsovin was born as well. Before it was Anthony and Son, obviously, but they needed something new when they came here, and a rebranding, as we call it. And the area Marsa, which in Maltese means port, just here opposite Valletta, was the hustle and bustle center of trade. So you had Marsa, and the French word for wine is vin, V-I-N, so Marsovin. An interesting, so port of wine, a very cool, impactful name, and started to create the real first element of marketing of any wine here in Malta. And they made a great success of it here, and the distribution point was great, so they were able to be in an area that could distribute all over the island, okay? Whether it was by trucks or vans, whatever it may be, or even ships getting up to Gozo at that time, and with the ferry now, much easier to distribute, of course. And that history just carried on, and when the 3rd generation came in, they started to purchase sites around different areas, but between the 60s up until the 2000s, they bought 5 different sites, 4 in Malta and 1 in Gozo. And that's where really there was a massive change in terms of quality, of course, but the type of products they were allowing to be sold to clients was of a much higher premium category. So they started to do true estate wines. So you're not just purchasing grapes, you've got your own land as well. All right. And after that happened, you had our current CEO, Jeremy, take over and really focus on quality, but making sure that the products that we have are accessible to all. We have a wide range, which I'm sure we can speak about in a bit, but you're going from entry level all the way to your ultra premium, and anybody that comes to Malta, no matter what their budget is, they can taste good quality Maltese wine, whichever budget they have.
Can you walk us through the wine production from the grape cultivation to the final product?
Okay. So we have quite a large team that is taking care of it. We have our main viticulturalist, Chris Cremona, and he works closely with all the farmers here in Malta, whether they're our own vineyards, which he will be taking care of exclusively with the sites, as well as 1 or 2 farmers around. And the larger team, which logistically is quite challenging, of working closely with the farmers who they're purchasing grapes from. But they're making sure that they're following all the strict rules and regulations they need for production here in the Mediterranean, and making sure that the quality of the grapes are to the standard that we need. Now, funny enough, this is the time of the year that we're actually doing the harvest. So Vendemmia is quite interesting here in Malta because you've got quite a long time of harvest, and the production facility is here in Marsa. So logistically, even if we're taking grapes all the way from Gozo, they need to be transported here to be produced. Okay, so very interesting logistics that you have to deal with here in Malta, but the size of the team allows it. And most of the wines are produced stainless steel in the main facility here, whereas those wines of our premium category, once they've done the fermentation process, they will be pumped from the main winery down into the barrels which were downstairs and aged in barrels for a certain of the wines are only doing completely new barrels, new French oak. Some are being used up to 3 or 4 times. But then we have certain styles of wines like our Primos, which is an Amarone style, and our 1919 Red, which is a Vinicola Rossa. Those spend some time in oak barrels. Because the flavor and aromas imparted into the wine are a really good balance. The style is a little bit more richer, riper, and lends itself better to a more powerful oak like American oak.
Can you tell us more about your premium wines, like the Grand Maître?
Grand Maître. All right. So Grand Maître is our flagship. It's our typical cuvée. It comes from a very, very small site, only around 1.8 hectares in Boomerang. It was an important part of our portfolio, not just to create our top tier wine. Like any winery has, you have your baby of the group, the real love and the representation of the best of what you can produce. However, Grand Maître ties to the history of Malta as well. A small island, couldn't be protected from all the invaders, so being a Catholic state in the past, they were protected by the armies that were sent from the Catholic states in Europe. These were the Knights of St. John, and they were governed by Grand Master. And our third generation owner, Tony Passar, is actually a Knight of St. John. So he not only tied it to the history of Malta, but to something that he's been a part of throughout his life as well. So we have these beautiful etiquettes. I'll grab it quickly for you. This beautiful etiquette, which is handmade from pewter. This is handmade from France every single year. And the coat of arms will be of one of the Grand Masters that we've had during the year. And they'd apply for permission, actually, from the Sovereign Military Authority of Malta. And they granted permission. We're also the only one that can really put the Maltese cross on the bottle. And nowadays, of course, they're not holding swords and spears anymore. This is a charity organization. So a percentage of the sale of this actually goes to the charity of choice.
The company evolved during years, and we have also an e-commerce.
If you go onto our Marsovin website, you go to the shop, any of the wines that you see there can be purchased and shipped abroad. And as a company, we ship it through DHL. So in terms of safety and accountability, it is one of the best ways to ship abroad for whatever quantity you have.
Today we had the tour. He was our guide.
Yes.
For a group of 30 Italian students from an Italian school. But you organize, for example, some tasting and
Yes.
other group visits.
We do.
How people can reach you
So-
to organize some these
Definitely, it's fairly easy. So, I mean, we've got a lot of different avenues that you can contact. We've got some links on our Instagram account where you could get into contact with us directly through our website. If you go onto our website, the same we use for our e-commerce store, at the bottom you can contact us, which is at info@marsovinwinery.com. So there we provide tours for a wide variety of clientele. For yourselves, of course, we do educational tours, so you're more than welcome to approach us if you're ever needing to do something like that. And we also do small groups, so individuals and small groups from, even if it's one person who wants to book, we're happy to do that, up to around 9 people. But in the venue that we do it, we sit around 12 people maximum. But we do large groups as well, from 10 up to 100, 150 if we need to, and a wide range of packages. We're very flexible on that as well.
So follow Marsovin on their social media and check their website. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.